almost in prime time. Got that almost. We're like 27 minutes away from prime time, but you still gotta love it. You still gotta love it. Why? Not because I said so. I ain't even that smart, man. Not even that smart. But I know one or two things. Just like Tuesday was terrific Tuesday, today is tremendous Thursday. And I hope that you guys have had a really tremendous day just because you deserve to have a tremendous day. Mine was phenomenal. See this? This is called the smile. Happy smile. Happy to be here. Man, this evening's guest. What can I say about him? He's a part-time comedian. He likes to tell little quirky jokes. He's climbed the ranks of coaching through paying his dues. And the only thing that he's really done was take advantage of the opportunities that were presented to him. And so, with that being said, please welcome the newest member in Division I, Class 4A, Neville Tigers basketball. Please welcome Derek Lopez. Woohoo! Yay! Cheers. What up, bro?
What's going on, baby?
Hey, man, what's happening?
Just trying to get my feet on the ground. Man,
I should have introduced you like this right here. Doom, doom, doom. Turning. But how that song go? Eye of the Tiger.
Hey, we said, you said we're close to prime time, so I guess I gotta be like Prime, and I need some theme music. That's my theme music. Eye of the Tiger. That's what you saying?
That's what I'm saying, bro. Music,
man. Give me my theme music.
Yeah, give me my theme music. I should have queued Eye of the Tiger up and just got in trouble. But I try to follow the rules. Yeah. What's up, man? How are you today? How's your evening been?
That's been good. Just got finished practicing our last kind of practice before we play tomorrow. We go to Caldwell's team camp. Got 2 games tomorrow. Got a game on Saturday. And then we have our team camp next week, Tuesday through Thursday. So we've gotten some practice in over the last 4 days, and now we're going to go see what we can do against somebody else.
Man, how has the quick acclimation and adjustment period been?
Monday was a whirlwind. I told people that Monday definitely was a whirlwind. Tuesday kind of settled down a little more. Wednesday a little more. Today pretty solid. But I got to compliment the 3 guys that were already here on staff. Vince Burks, James Lewis, Willie Ward. They've really helped me through this transition. Kind of showed me the ropes a little bit. And then I got Maurice Crowder that's come with me from St. Fred that's kind of helped them and the players just kind of, what am I expecting, so to speak, getting that message out to them as well. So definitely it's been a group effort. And the kids have bought in from day one, first practice. It's been really, really good. So again, just excited to see if we can translate that into something, over these next few days.
Right. So tell us how your journey into coaching began.
Well, I tell you when I knew I wanted to be a coach. I was 9 years old, and my mom was the secretary at the high school, and I met the late Dutton Wall for the first time, who's a Hall of Fame coach from Welsh High School. And from kind of that point on, I just looked up to coaches, and he was the first one I looked up to. my dad and my uncle would bring me to the Superdome every year, and we'd watch the state championship games. And just at some point throughout that process, I just knew I wanted to be a coach. And then graduated high school, started coaching at junior high. I can't remember the guys that coached Charlo from Beauchesne. You interviewed him last week. When he was talking about the junior high stuff and I was watching, I was like, yeah, I can relate, learning how to teach kids at that age. That's to me, that's the best place to learn how to coach is at the junior high level, learn how to teach. And, and there's also not a lot of pressure in junior high. So if you make a mistake, you can just learn from it and just kind of put it in your data bank, and not everybody's on top of you, putting pressure on you. So that's kind of where it started. And then, 20 plus years later, I'm here.
What stops have you had as assistant coaches?
So I obviously started at my alma mater junior high, Welsh Roanoke Junior High. Called them the War Pups. I was a college student assistant at Jennings High School, and that's where I met the Reed family and Coach Rusty Phelps. And then out of college, I got hired at Mamou High School, and I was there for a year. And then, as Bear Bryant once said, Mama called. Well, Jennings High called back, and I was hired at Jennings. I was there for 4 years. I was the head basketball coach my last year there. During that time, I met somebody you may know, Casey Jones. I think he coaches at Wassman now. I met him when he was at Longview, and he was wanting to come to my tournament at Jennings. And throughout that conversation, we talked about him having an opening on his staff. Next thing I know, I'm interviewing for it. Next thing I know, I'm getting offered a job. And next thing I know, we're moving to Monroe, which was 10 years ago. And was with him his last 2 years at Ouachita. When he went to Wassman, I was staying with Jeremy, had all the intentions of doing that. And then the West Ouachita job opened up. I was there for 2 years, had some success there. Then it was a 40-minute drive from my house to West Ouachita, so it got kind of taxing. Jeremy had a spot open back up at Ouachita. I went back, was there for 3 years. And then I got a phone call from Andy Robinson at St. Fred, took that job for 3 years. And Friday, I got a phone call from Neville High School, and now I'm sitting in front of a computer talking to you. So that's kind of what's happening.
Man, I followed your journey for a few years, man. You've been a diligent, loyal assistant, going to St. Fred's. You really took I'm not going to say a totally disparaging program, and you taught young kids how to win stuff. When you look at getting a Division I Class 4A, and I think that's how we have to classify that now, because you guys
something like that, yeah.
You guys playing on the Division I public side,
right? Non-select. Non-select side, yeah.
Right,
yeah.
But you're still considered a 4A school,
right?
Okay, so Division I 4A.
Yep.
What was the first night, which was Friday night? I'm assuming. You're almost a week into the position. What was your thoughts on the first night that after you got it offered the position, and I'm assuming that you immediately accepted it. What was that night like when you thought about, man, how am I going to inspire this highly talented group of kids that have already been super successful over the last 5 years?
Mm-hmm. Well, so it did take us a weekend. My wife and I did pray. Obviously, yes, whenever the job offer came, very excited, kind of like, wow. But, one thing that Coach Jones did teach me, you always got to do what's best for yourself and your family and make sure that that's right. And St. Fred's is a great school, and we had talked about our kids possibly going to school there at some point. They're right there in the middle school age. My daughter will be going into 7th grade next year. My son will be going into 6th. So they're right there. St. Fred's is 7 through 12. So they were right there at possibly coming with me to school. So it did take us a weekend just to kind of make sure. So yeah, I did accept the job officially on Monday.
Okay.
But to answer your question about just the how, just really just making sure that I was myself, just be me, I learned that from a couple guys. One guy is from my hometown, who's a defense coordinator at Miami, Lance Guidry. I've watched him, and he's himself, and he's famous for the, get our D trophy, on the he's a YouTube sensation, I think now. But he does it his way. And I learned from Jeremy. Jeremy does it his way. Casey does it his way. So my main thing going into this thing was making sure I was true to myself. And I've always been told, if you're going to do the thing, make sure you're you and you do it your way.
Facts. So you talked a little bit about your assistants, and I want to say this first and foremost. I want to shout out my guy Vince Burks. I saw on social media where where several people tried to bait him into making comments that were disparaging. Great character, Vince Burks. Great character. I already thought a lot of and about you. Your stock definitely rose with me. So staying true to form, you kept the three, brought one with you. How big of a role do you give to each coach independently to help spread your message?
Well, that's still a work in progress. Still kind of learning them what they can do, what they can't do, or what their strengths and weaknesses are. I don't want to say can do, can't do, but what their strengths and weaknesses are. And I mean, whenever I talked to them for the first time, I wanted to make it clear to them that, hey, look, I want y'all here coaching. I'm real big on that. I'm the head coach, but I'm not the only coach. I'm not a very good everybody stand and look at me talk type guy. I mean, we're going to practice. We're going to get after it. And with that, you got to have manpower as coaches, and you got to have coaches that are empowered and know that the head coach is fine with you talking and teaching and coaching. I learned that a long time ago. Really, I learned it coaching football, because a head football coach, you got to have those position coaches. You got to have the defensive coordinator. You got to, offense coordinator. You got to have that in order to have a successful football program. And so that's something that I've kind of taken to basketball and kind of made it into that, just kind of that into my philosophy.
Right. When I think about Neville Tigers basketball, you guys host a summer league tournament, playing summer league games. Travel,
a little bit.
Not so much. Not so much.
We love Monroe.
How big of adjustment do you make to your basketball scheduling from playing in different areas across the state with your new team?
We're talking about summer and regular season.
It's basketball, coach. Are we gonna see Neville at the showdown or at the lake? Are we gonna see Neville at Madison Prep? Are we gonna see Neville at Scotlandville? Are we gonna see Neville at Carver? Are we gonna see Neville in the car? Are we gonna see Neville and Erica Randolph and Hanville? Are we gonna see Neville at airline one-day team camps? They got 4 of them. Try to get in right now. That heat, that fire. Is Neville playing Peabody? Is Neville playing Ash? Is Neville playing Zachary? Is Neville playing Liberty? I just gave you a schedule, didn't I? My bad, bro.
We can only play 34 games. Man, I mean, you probably just ran off about 50.
Fine, man. I did rattle off 50. I did. But again, so a lot of people don't know this, but I was one hell of a fan of a kid that just graduated from Neville, I think in 21, PD McCraney. I love
22.
22.
Yeah.
I love PD McCraney. Like, the kid could flat out ball.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing that we didn't see, and it's not the kid's fault, and and it's no kick to anyone, but I would have loved to see him go and compete in a Madison Prep tournament. I would love him to see him compete against the Carvers of the world. Like, it only would have made his stock rise. How competitive can we look for, the schedule to get?
As competitive as we can get. Obviously, travel, is always kind of, you got to make sure it works. But we definitely want to go against some of the best in the state, just to kind of see where we are, prepare for playoffs, prepare for district. You asked if we're playing Peabody. Peabody's in our district, so we're going to play them a home and away, for district next year. So we are going to play them. I did talk to Coach Jones today. We're going to figure out a spot for play Wassman. Obviously, Washita's on the schedule. Going to the Don Redden, that's like not even like, right. Yeah, that's we don't even call me and ask me, Madison. Just put Neville in there and Penn every year is what's going to happen. But then, from there, trying to mix it up some, because sometimes our area, being in a corner of Louisiana, sometimes we play each other a lot. A lot. maybe too many.
Read my lips.
So to try to find that balance in it, and I do think it's good to bring kids throughout the state. When I was at St. Fred this past year, we went to Turling's Catholic tournament, and I think you got to prepare them for what you might see in the playoffs, and you might have to take a long road trip to somewhere. You may have to go to Zachary, you may have to go to Barb, and so just to get them as much used to any type of scenario that could possibly happen in February, March, to prepare them for that, I think you need to do. And so I do think, you gotta venture out a little bit whenever you can.
When you look at this Caldwell Spartans team camp that you guys start in tomorrow, are you raising hell, or are you just watching the kids play and seeing where they are? Tell Vince Burke to get out of our interview.
They got him right here. You want to say hi?
Yep.
He just gave you a shout out, by the way.
That's my guy, man. That's my guy. What up, BB?
Hey, ask him what he shot today.
Well, we shot an 8 under.
Yeah, both of y'all bad golfers. Nah, just playing.
Hey,
he not here.
Hey, I was at practice. I was at practice. He represented the basketball program at the golf thing. I was at practice, so
okay.
I
didn't even know Vince liked golf.
I don't. You don't like me either. What's up, Ho?
Ain't nothing, man. Glad. Man, my bro. I'm gonna call you later, man. I'm gonna call you later.
Appreciate it, my man.
I can't even say what I want to say on air, cuz.
Yes, you can. You never held your tongue.
I'm changing. I'm changing. I'm trying to do things differently.
Okay, I respect that. I respect that.
I'll call you later. I'm gonna call
right.
you later. So are you letting them play, or when you see this thing or that thing?
Okay.
I gotta come back later, but
Okay.
Oh,
My bad. He was filling me in on something. All right.
I already know that was business. Or are you getting on that asterisk when they make a mistake?
There's a lot of teaching that's involved, but you know me well enough. But we're gonna play hard. That's a non-negotiable. So we're gonna play hard tomorrow and Friday for sure. And then there's gonna be a lot of teaching. I know we're gonna make a lot of mistakes, and you got to teach first. Definitely got to teach first. But we're gonna play hard. I know that for a fact.
When you look at the fact that now again you got the East dissensions, you have the Carver Division 2. Let me see. I'm gonna have to look at a lot of heavy hitters in Division 1.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at the fact that you're going from Division 5,
4, yeah,
Division 4 to Division
Mm-hmm.
1,
Mm-hmm.
how do you, as a coach, make that adjustment in being the head coach now in a situation that everybody is going through uncharted, unfamiliar waters?
Really go back on my experiences from Washita with Casey and Jeremy. I still think it's 5-on-5. It's basketball. Obviously, Division 1, you have more of a pool to come from as far as with kids. But it's still blocking out. It's still defending. It's still taking care of the ball. So that part isn't going to change. Just the, I guess maybe the day-to-day things like, at St. Fred, I also coach junior high football. Here, I'm the basketball coach. Right. And so I think being more specific is something that I'm going to enjoy, but I know it's going to be an adjustment. Like every day you got something with basketball going on. And that's why I say that's how it was at Washita and West Washita whenever I was there as a head coach, West Washita, assistant Washita. So just kind of going off of those experiences. And then, that guy that was just behind me, he's been here a while, so he's going to help tread those waters and keep them calm as much as we can.
Man, when I think about Neville Tiger basketball, PD McCraney may be the tallest kid I've ever seen in a black and gold basketball uniform. How do you make? Because when you look at the football field, it's always 6'5", 6'6" receivers somewhere or defensive ends, cornerbacks. You guys have 6'1", 6'2" cornerbacks across the board. How do you make basketball attractive enough to get those guys to want to come out and get on the basketball court?
Well, number one, win. Everybody likes winning. Number two, just be myself and talk to those kids, get to know them, get to be a face around the campus, not be a stranger. See them on the football field, in the weight room, things like that. Two football coaches that I know here. One really well, go all the way back whenever he was at McNeese and I was at Jennings, Mike Collins. I've gotten to know Coach Collins very well and gotten to know Coach Tannehill pretty well. And so those are two guys that I think if you're trying to get some guys off the football field to kind of come to basketball, I think those are two guys that you can talk to and kind of get them to help you a little bit with it. But, we got a few guys that got some size with us. We don't have no 6'8", but, we got a couple 6'3", 6'4" that I think will be pretty solid for us from what I've seen so far.
Hey, that's awesome, man, because nothing replaces size.
No.
Like size.
You can make a lot of mistakes on defense when you got a 6'9" behind you.
Right. Facts. So we've talked about your coaching staff. We partially talked about scheduling because you still didn't give me enough to where I was happily satisfied. Let's talk now about principles and philosophies. What is a Derek Lopez checklist looks like in saying, okay, we are a non-district ready team to we are a district ready team to we are a playoff ready team to we are a top 28 championship series ready team?
Number one is, are we all in? Are we all into everything that we need to do? That's the first thing. Are we playing our best as far as with energy and effort and those types of things? You know, are we doing that? Those are things that we preach. We have what's called a Tiger mentality, which is toughness, integrity, grit, enthusiasm, and respect. Are we playing that way consistently? So, you know, those three things kind of, I guess, would be intangible wise. Obviously, you know my background. We're going to play defense. Have to rebound. You know, I learned this from Coach Jones. No rebounds, no rings. So you can play defense all you want, but if you give up that offensive rebound and they put it back, everything you did well on defense, that went out the window. And then offensively, take care of the basketball, take great shots. We want to play with pace, but we don't necessarily have to shoot quick. But to know if we're ready or not in district is just kind of that. Or are we hitting those marks? And are we playing together as a team and those types of things?
Skill development. How much of a process goes into skill development, weightlifting, agility training?
Well, no, you know, that play looks good on the board, but if you can't execute it, if a guy, you know, can't make a shot or something like that, then that play doesn't work. So, you know, dribbling, passing, shooting, just the fundamentals, that's got to be preached day in, day out. You know, something I call just being fundamentally disciplined. You know, come to a jump stop where you don't pick up a charge, you know, those types of things. Weight room, very important this day and age. You know, I've read some things on a guy named Alan Stein, who's known for, you know, he was Kevin Durant's trainer and things like that. And just the importance of not just getting stronger, but staying healthy by being in the weight room is very, very important. Stretching, very important. You know, these young kids have no idea. You and I do, because as you get older, you don't stretch. You're going to hurt something, tear something, whatever. Right. So definitely preaching those things and the importance of it to where you can have the success that you want to have. And I learned from a coaching friend of mine, Coach Paul Glenn at Sterlington, whenever he was coaching in Kentucky, that he always said that their teams look bigger, faster, stronger in February and March because of the weight room, as opposed to some other teams that they look really strong in November, but they tapered the weight room off during the season, and then they lost that strength in February, March, and got beat. So I've always kind of kept that in my brain for, you know, just for that run.
Yeah, it's probably unfair to ask this question, but I'm gonna ask it anyway because you're tough.
Of course you will.
It's been a week, a day from a week. We're gonna say Friday was your start date. I'm giving you that. What have you learned about your kids enough to say that we need a basket? we need a defensive stop. Tell us what kids you look to.
Can you ask me after this weekend? We haven't played a game yet.
They said practice tells you who you're going to be in the game. That's just what I heard. Now, I've never been a high school head.
Well, there are certain kids that are called practice players. So I don't know.
Man.
And there is certain things called game players that they may drive you nuts in practice, but like you just said, I need a bucket. Go give me that bucket.
Right. I was probably that guy growing up, man. Growing up at the rec and Booker T going to Marbles or Powell Street rec. I remember Coach Hughes saying, "Go get a bucket, son." I would just kill. Bartholomew Robinson, them, man, Byron Bates. I would just kill them dudes, man. They couldn't stop me. We were all 2-pick skinny back then,
I'll tell you what, I'm a really good coach when I got like 2 or 3 guys that's like that. I'm a really good coach. I got a lot of good plays when I got players like that.
Hey, you got a size 8X? I'm probably gonna need an 8X. Now, the challenge of being a high school coach is a great honor.
Very much.
And I'm gonna know that you're really serious about this Neville job. When I see you on the court and I see your key thing hanging out of your pocket.
Well, I got to get one because look, this is what I got so far.
Oh, you ain't come from my dudes. You did not come from.
I got to get one. I got to get one with an N on it. I got to get one. That's the first thing I thought about. I got to get one. I had one at St. Fred. I really did. I had one at St. Fred. I got to get one. I gotta get an N, and I gotta get, it's gotta be black with a gold N on it. I already know what I gotta get.
Hey, yeah, I got a North Carolina one too, dog. Bro, come on, man. You embarrassing Jeremy.
Well, I ain't gonna have a North Carolina one on. It might be a Duke one, but it's gonna be.
See, this is that restraint, Vince. This is that restraint, Vince.
Well, you said you've been doing good, so you're about
to bring me out of character, though. You keep hearing cuss words in one. Don't do that, man. I'm gonna have to have you back since you said that I cannot raise the eyebrow yet. Can't raise the eyebrow yet because you haven't coached the game. But I'm really excited that you're getting opportunity to coach at a next level. It's always important to see where we're at so we'll know where we can go. I know your work ethic. I know your love and passion for the game. Again, you come from great stock. You might be chicken noodle soup. You're not chicken and dumpling soup yet.
I gotta prove myself, huh?
Yeah, you gotta learn how to pick them biscuits or rip that tortilla shell, that flour tortilla shell just right and drop it in the water, man. And another little tidbit, y'all stop using chicken bouillon cubes and get chicken powder. Man, that made that chicken noodle, that chicken and dumpling so much better. I got fat boy issues, y'all. Don't pay me no attention. Man.
Hey, I'll tell you what, I'll save you next time my wife makes it, I'll save you a plate.
Now just call me and
you gonna drive up to drive to Monroe?
And this man behind some food.
Hey, and she's from down south now.
That just means she know how to use cayenne pepper. People down south cannot cook. They think putting cayenne pepper is seasoning food. No disrespect to people down south. Nah, man, it's gonna be great, man. Everything's gonna be great. Can you come back after June?
Yeah.
when you've learned a lot more. But we have to
Absolutely.
have you on. You've been a friend to off the bench sports. You're another one of those coaches that have told me no without telling me no, and and has never told me no all at the same time. And so I look at how the respect comes by when I call you. If you don't answer the phone, do you call me back that day? Do you text me and say, "Hey, I'm this," and I'm gonna get back to you? You always 90% of the time you answer and say, "Hey, bro, what's up?" So I'm good with that.
Good.
Prep news. Oh, you want to shout out to somebody?
My family. I mean, pushing, for a long time to get to a position like this is never easy. A coach, I'll tell you this: a coach's wife. There's a special place in heaven for every coach's wife, and my wife, very supportive, team mom. She always makes cookies for the boy for their birthday, and we had one that had a birthday earlier this week. He got his cookies today. So just really appreciate them and everything supporting me, and of course my parents as well. You talked about me working hard. My dad was a rice farmer for quite a few years, and that's where I learned that work ethic. Getting up every single day, every day, and going to work. And for me, I don't consider this work. This is fun, but I'm gonna definitely get up every single day and bring it the way it needs to be brought.
And I'm not gonna hold it against you that you're a Welsh Greyhound.
Hey,
I won't hold that against you, man.
red and black, baby.
Almost as bad as black and gold. Vince Burke. Vince, I promise I tried, bro.
I like black and gold. I think I look pretty good in it. Now, I am a Cowboys fan, not a Steelers fan, but I do like black and gold.
You know what it is, man.
Yeah. Saints are okay, too.
I don't care nothing about no Saints. We talking about high school sports here. Don't do that. Don't do that. You know what the colors are. You know what the colors are. Don't make me send them dudes over there.
Are they 6'8"?
Hell no. Well, Eric Boyd, what's up? Shout out Eric Boyd. What's up, T? Hey, and watch this. Glenn, Conneray, and Toby was hanging out this weekend. You know what that is. Quick 16. Nah, man, we glad to have you though, man. You're welcome.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate everything you do. I remember, I forget the year, but I remember you came. It might have been the first game you did. I know it was one of the first ones when I was at Washita with Jeremy, and we played Natchitoches Central. It was a big game, and you covered that, and just how much I thought, your idea about doing this and promoting high school sports in the state of Louisiana, how it was. And just, you covering everything. I mean, I remember seeing you at the state track meet. I guess it was a couple years ago, and and you just stay covering everything. Do you cover bowling? Do you do that too?
I'm trying, man. So the reason why I haven't covered a bowling event is because I can't get the coaches to send me the schedule. Like if they send me the schedule, I'm gonna be at bowling. I'm gonna be at fishing. I'm gonna be at golf. I'm gonna be at tennis. I gotta know where to come and when to get there. And then I want to shout out, man, because we're building a great team here at Prep News with the additions of Clarissa McPhee, Lance Patterson, Ben McCurry, and our Mr. Everything. We wouldn't not be able to exist without Chadwick Wilson. He does everything. Like he's been definitely true to the brand that we're trying to make a payable brand. That we're trying to make a payable brand. We do everything. It's free now, but one day somebody's gonna think about what we do and make a sizable contribution or something. We ain't gonna turn it down.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't gonna turn it down. So Man, hey, my guy, we've been solid since the first day we met at Washita. Uh, thank you, Derek Lopez. He is the new head coach at Neville High School, who has they've been football, baseball, basketball, softball, cream of the crop. You know, they the team that when the playoff time comes, you hate to see them in your bracket on your side because you know you got to work your can off to beat them. And so he's the new leader. He has a great staff. I can vouch for Vince Burke for sure. That's going to be right there with him, fighting in the day-to-day process of continuing to build on what head coach Philip Craig did at Neville for 20 plus years. So again, thank you, Derek. Remember, get off the bench, get into the game.
Appreciate you.
No doubt, bro.